I know what you're probably thinking. No, Nick Cannon is not announcing another baby. But Nick Cannon is saying in a recent interview that his baby mamas don't have to get along. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So it's been a while since we talked about Nick Cannon, but as you know, every time we talk about Nick Cannon, usually it has to do with him having another baby. Well, no. In a recent interview with the Big Tigger Show, he's revealing that his baby mamas don't have to get along. We'll get more into that in just a second. Let me just remind you, though, of all of the kids and the baby mamas that are involved. Of course, Mariah Carey, the most legendary of all the baby mamas. Everyone else, baby mamas, but, you know, anyways. So, you know, Nick Cannon, he has a 10-year-old twins with Mariah Carey, Monroe and Moroccan. And he has a 5-year-old Golden and a 1-year-old Powerful Queen with Brittany Bell, and 9-month-old twins Zion and Zillion with Abby De La Rosa. The comedian also had a child with Alyssa Scott's son, Zen, who passed away recently after being diagnosed with brain cancer. In January, Nick Cannon also confirmed that he's expecting his 8th child with Bree TC, who I believe is his girlfriend. So, of course, a lot of people have been going back and forth in regards to Nick Cannon having this amount of kids and how irresponsible. A lot of people feel like it's irresponsible because you have not just multiple kids. You have multiple kids with different babies' mamas around the country. I don't know where all these ladies live, but I know it's not in the same city, which probably would be messy as hell. So when he dropped by the Big Tigger morning show on V103 last week, where he got candid about his life as a soon-to-be dad of 8 and what's it like to co-parent multiple women.
Like, that boy got potential.
So I know you've spoken on this quite extensively.
Oh man, that's all. I'm an open book. No, we get him.
What the fruitful and multiply, is that all there really is to it?
You know what? And if we keeping it honest real quick, I mean, I just want to be responsible as a father, and through the whole process, of course, like, I didn't set out to, like, you know me for a long time, right. And it was one of those things I was like, all right, well, you know what? I just want to be the best father I could possibly be and lean into it. So I don't like to overgeneralize any of my situations, but, you know, I got a couple of sets of twins. You know, how it all works out. It just looked up and like, yo, you out here doing numbers. And the fact that, you know, the fact that, you know, I embrace all my children. I love children. So that's where we at with it. But I wasn't setting out to be Father Abraham. I wasn't trying to really do it, but I just embrace it. Where a lot of people have, you know, a lot of children as well, and they kind of keep it quiet or they don't talk about it. I lean into mine. I'm like, yeah, I do. I got a lot of kids.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
Do all the baby mamas get along?
They don't have to. They get along with me.
Because I noticed that you take pregnant pictures with everybody.
Yeah, I believe everyone deserves that.
Back in the day, that would get you killed.
Well, I do. I mean, it's one of those things. When you come over here, you kind of know what you're dealing with. So,
okay.
Like, I ain't, and I don't keep no secrets. So they know how I move.
So when he was asked whether or not all the baby mamas get along, Nick Cannon replied, they don't have to. They all get along with me. When the radio host brought up that Cannon takes maternity photos with each of the mothers, Cannon says he believes everyone deserves that. He also added, he says, I don't keep no secrets. They know how I move. I multitask. As for whether Cannon sees any additional kids in the future, he quipped, isn't there always? He says, my bag was different back then. I just want to be responsible as a father. I didn't set out for this to happen. I just want to be the best father I can possibly be and lean into it. I embrace all my children. I love children, but I wasn't setting out to be Father Abraham. I just embrace it. Here's the difference, Nick Cannon. He says that he didn't intend for this to happen, but if you are out here raw dogging every woman you sleep with, the possibility of you having kids is that much higher. So I can't ride with you when you said, I didn't intend for this to happen. 8 babies with how many different baby mamas? At least he was married to Mariah Carey, but I'm not that traditional. I don't think you have to be married. However, this amount of kids in about a year and a half, that's a lot of raw dog. Damn, I'm sorry. I apologize to the grown folks that are listening. Like I'm not grown. But you know what? Look, can we talk? So when he said this is the only reason why I said I have to do a video, because I have not reported every single time we've had a baby announcement for Nick Cannon. But when I read this part, I said, Nick, you going to sit here and lie to our faces that you didn't plot and plan this, or that this was not planned? Okay, maybe you didn't set up a date and say, you know, I'm going to have a kid with each of these women. However, when you are out here having unprotected sex, allegedly, because I don't believe, unless you're doing the pull-out method, you're still taking a risk. And look, we've had this conversation before. Some people believe, well, he has the money to take care of these kids. But we also understand, especially if you're a parent, you understand it's not just about money, about raising kids. Yes, that's an important factor. But it's also about time, effort. First of all, Nick has multiple jobs. He has a lot of jobs. I don't know how he has time to actually be a father, or at least a traditional father in that sense. As I said to you before, all these kids are around the country. So like, how do you have time? Even if you're making time, that's also not every day with each of your kids. I'm sure there's possible ways of working out schedules where all your kids are with you at one time, but that's also figuring out scheduling for that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's his life, and these women too are responsible. You're also part of the deal. It's not like he could just have a baby without someone else involved, except Mariah. And that's a whole different situation. We have to remember there were years in between Mariah's marriage and his experiment. I don't know what he wants to call this, but there is some good news in this story. Nick Cannon has confirmed that he is seeking consultations for a vasectomy. Seeking consultations. He has not done it yet. His body, his choice. However, that's questionable in America lately. First of all, let's have that conversation. When Nick Cannon says that, oh, all the baby mamas don't have to get along as long as they get along with me. Okay, God forbid, Nick Cannon, you pass away, but the baby mamas don't get along. Don't forget, Nick Cannon has some health issues. Some of you have speculated that this is part of the reason why he's been procreating so much. I don't believe that his statement, oh, they don't need to get along as long as they get along with me. Because God forbid you pass along, they have to figure out keeping these siblings together and in communication. They don't have to get along. Nick. Guys, let's continue this conversation below. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.